Log into AWS Management Console, click on Services, scroll down. You will find RDS service under Database section. Click on RDS. From the RDS dashboard, it is showing that there are no DB instances currently deployed. To create a new DB instance, click on Create Database. Choose the standard create method. Scroll down. Then we need to choose the engine options. This means that which RDBMS software has to be get deployed onto the RDS instance. Let me choose MySQL. Scroll down. Then we need to choose the MySQL version. Which version of MySQL has to be get deployed onto the RDS instance. Let me go for MySQL 5.7.22. Scroll down. AWS makes easy to create a RDS instance by providing sample templates. Based on the template which we have selected, the options will vary to meet the business requirements. Let me choose the production for now. Scroll down. Specify the DB instance name. Then specify the master password. Confirm the password. Scroll down. Then we need to choose DB instance size. When we choose M5.xlarge, it will provide 4 virtual CPUs and 16 GB of RAM. Once the RDS is deployed, we can have only the access to the database through the endpoint. We will not be having the access to the underlayer EC2 instance, which is configured as a database server in the backend. Then we need to specify how much amount of storage space has to be get allocated for this RDS instance. Specify the allocated storage as per the business requirements. Scroll down. Under availability and durability section, we need to specify whether the RDS deployment should be a multi-AZ or it is a standalone instance. When we deploy the RDS in the multi-AZ deployment method, then AWS will ensure that it is creating the active DB instance and standby DB instance as well in different availability zones. So that if the active DB instance is down due to some reasons, then standby DB instance will come into the picture. It will start serving the data access to the applications. When we choose do not create a standby instance, then AWS will deploy only one instance in the backend in the respective availability zones. For now, let me choose multi-AZ deployment. Scroll down. Then we need to choose the RDS instance has to be get created in which VPC. Then we need to choose the subnet from the drop-down, which will be taking the decision what IP ranges has to be get associated for the DB instance. Then we need to choose whether the DB instance should be accessible within the AWS network or it can be accessible even from outside of the AWS network. That means when we choose yes, then RDS instances will be accessible even from the outside of the AWS environment. When we choose no, RDS will be accessible within the VPC. Then scroll down and choose the security group. We can choose the security group from the existing list or even it is possible to create a security group. When we are creating the security group, then specify the security group name. Then make sure that the database default port is allowed in the inbound rules. Scroll down. Then click on Create Database. Now we can see that AWS in the process of creating the RDS instance. It would take a couple of minutes to fully configure the DB instance and it is available for the application access. Let me click on the DB identifier name to see the metadata information of this database instance. I can see that the endpoint is now made available for this RDS instance. This endpoint has to be configured at application server level so that application server can start connecting to this database instance to upload the data or even to download the data as well. Let me click on Monitoring tab. We can see that the CloudWatch dashboards showing that what is the CPU utilization of the RDS instance and how many number of DB connections are made to the RDS instance over the time, and can see how much total space has been allocated and how much space is now utilized by the RDS instance. Since RDS instance is used to keep the business related data, it is highly recommended to take the snapshot of the RDS instance on a regular basis so that if the data loss has been occurred, then it is possible to restore the data from the snapshot. To create a snapshot of the RDS instance, click on Actions, click on Take Snapshot, specify the snapshot name, then click on Take Snapshot. RDS snapshots are point-in-time backup of RDS database. To restore the snapshot, select the snapshot, click on Actions, click on Restore Snapshot. Then specify the details at the time of restoring the DB instance from the snapshot. Then click on Restore DB instance. For now, I am clicking on Cancel. That's it for this lecture, understanding how to deploy the RDS instance in the AWS cloud. I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.